Hello.
How are you?
Hi, Todd and Pernilla. Oh, very moved by Debbie.
Yes.
Can relate to so much. I was a crier when I was a kid too, and now I have a hard time crying. But yeah, and my family didn't cry. It was like it was never okay to cry. So, but um, and I was feeling sort of overwhelmed with what needs work. But something that came up during the thing this morning is um, sort of a place to start is I'm not welcome. Um, it I I moved into a sort of an intentional community 16 years ago and just never felt welcome
Mm.
and have always wanted out. But my husband really needs to be here because he's very introverted and there's a lot of support. So for him. Um, and um, but I knew coming in here that I had a tendency to try too hard and then get resentful when others don't or when I don't feel acknowledged. I knew that coming in, and I wasn't going to do that. I was going to really try not to do that, but I couldn't help it. And then some years ago, I got the the sense that things that happened when I was a little kid that made no sense, they suddenly dropped in. That my mom was pregnant with me before they were married. And they've always had massive judgment about kids born out of wedlock or women having sex with men before they're married. And so it occurred to me that it had to do with me or that they had a lot of shame about this and that my paternal grandmother thought I was not her grandchild. I definitely was, but it doesn't matter. It's just that there was perhaps the sense that I just wasn't welcome
Mm.
in the family. But still this being came in with lots of energy and enthusiasm and kind of joy, but but never really felt accepted anywhere. Well, except for one place that's long gone, and it was a brief period of time. But it's always this ideal that I wish I had that community again. So I guess starting with inquiry into I'm not welcome, is that a place to start?
Um, well, um, I would maybe. The first thing I would like to say is that that is completely. It's just an assumption that you're not welcome. It was not. It wasn't about you. Your parents felt so shameful for have had sex out of wedlock.
Hmm.
And your paternal grandmother felt completely refused that her son could be one of those that had sex out of wedlock. And
Possibly.
your parents spent the rest of their lives convincing other people how wrong it is to have sex out of wedlock. They didn't.
Hmm.
They hadn't that. Don't look at us.
Uh-huh.
The ones over there, they shouldn't have sex out of wedlock. They shouldn't have children out. Don't look this way. Not this way. Those over there. It's not about you. It's never ever been about you.
Hmm.
It's their shame, and it had nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how you have turned it into you not being welcome.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of how, because obviously there's a storyline that's been created here about you not being the welcome one, and then because there's something wrong with you. Because, originally there was the shame element of you just appearing through immaculate conception and, something
Happens.
something just happenstance. But then beyond that, then there was something where you're creating this story out of, okay, so there was a situation where you felt unwelcome in a situation because you felt like you were too much. These things, are they
Mm,
being resentful, the things that you've brought up. But all of these perhaps instances, if these things happened the way that you remember them happening, have been sort of tied together with this net of story about you just being an unwelcome person. You're like chronically unwelcome. So can we decouple that storyline from it and see what has actually been there? What is, when you go back to that idea that I wasn't wanted, and then that, as a child, and then that has carried through my whole life, without that as being your primary story that you're coming in with, what are these other
mm.
instances on their own? What do they have to do with anything? So like where you are now, wanting to leave because there's something about this intentional community that you don't feel right in. What actually is it that's happening in that situation if we're not going back to that old storyline about you just being an unwantable person? What's happening?
Yeah.
I don't want to make a big commitment. I don't want to do all the things that I should do. I I yeah, I don't know. It's the energy enthusiasm that I originally brought. It just seems like it it met with a lot of no. And there was initially when at move in, there was a lot of no, even afterwards. And I have seen other people beat down by all of the no. You can't do this, you can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. Um,
So
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 there's
why so
Mm,
why why do you feel that as a rejection of you?
yeah, wondering it.
well, I'm yeah, there are a couple of guys who are extremely reactive. I can see that they are reactive. They're reactive to other women too. It's that's them, but still it hurts.
Yeah, why?
um, well, all the other times in life when I felt rejected. Um,
But yeah, I'm sorry that I'm on your case, and if I'm too much, please just let me know.
no,
I'm
go
I'm
ahead.
what the scenario that I see copy pasted is that mom and dad had sex out of marriage. That is super shameful. They feel a lot of shame about it. So you grow up with a family saying, "We didn't do that. They shouldn't do it. Look at that. Look, don't look here. Look over there.
Uh-huh,
They
uh-huh.
shouldn't have sex at all." So you create a story about I am not welcome. That's a story you create based on their truth. So now what you do is that you go into a community, you're convinced that you're not welcome. So you do so many things. Okay, I think that we should have neon signs over every single house, and we should eat strawberries on every Wednesday. And you just do that for them to make so they really see how amazing you are. So they really really want to welcome you. So it's not about it's the same diversion technique, you know. I don't feel welcome. I don't look this way. See how welcome I am. See how much, you love me. See how useful I am in this community. All of us are now having strawberries on Wednesdays. It's amazing. We all love it. And when somebody goes like, I don't want to have strawberries on Wednesday, your entire world crumbles because that means they do not want me. It means that I'm not wanted, that they don't love me, that I'm not accepted, I'm too much. And it's all of it is just it's kind of like a fata morgana that we are creating to avoid feeling, not welcome. Can you enter the community, have the feeling, I have a feeling about not being welcome. That is my feeling. So now I'm not going to
Mhm,
project that over in other people. I'm
mhm.
just staying with the feeling that I have. And when I suggest we have strawberries on Wednesday and everybody says, no, we don't want to do that, it's because they don't want strawberries on Wednesdays. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with that being my suggestion. It's got nothing to do with me being a woman. It's got nothing to do with anything. They just don't want strawberries on Wednesdays.
Can I ask a follow-up too?
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to see, because I know, like, I think I had heard something differently than the way you had heard
Okay,
it, and
go
I
on,
just
go
want to
on.
make sure
Yeah.
like which one. So because when you said you first got there and there were lots of no's, was it that you were suggesting things and everybody was saying no to your suggestions, or was it an internal no to doing things the way that they wanted you to do?
Oh, it was no's to my suggestions, but I noticed there were no's to other people too. There was just a general no, lack of trust with all these people moving in together.
Lack of trust is again an assumption.
Mm-hmm.
So again, write that down. Lack of trust. Write it down, and then
Mm-hmm.
see how many times in the next week that you have an issue about lack of trust. Either you not trusting you, or you seeing that other people are not trusting. All of that is just a reflection of your bubble. But it is an assumption. Just like I'm not welcome, write it down. That's an assumption. You don't welcome you. Because what is a community and people saying no. That's it. There's no because. They say no because that doesn't exist. They just say no. So it's not because you're too much. Everything after the because you just remove. It's just a no. I heard something else, and I don't know if it's too much to bring it in. It's the part about you moving there with your husband and saying that he really needs it. Do you feel that he kind of owe you something for being there for him in a community that you don't want to live in, but you do it for him? Is there
Um,
any resentment in a decision made there?
I'm the one who wanted to come here. We made an agreement that if he hated it, we'd move after 5 years. But I'm the one who ended up not liking it. And though I've tried over and over, I want to move and then I try again and then I want to move and okay, I got a little bit lost. I, yeah, I, what was the question?
Yeah. What is perfect about you living there?
What is
What,
perfect?
yeah, what is the opportunity with you living there?
What's perfect is I know all my neighbors and I do like them. I love them. We live next to a park with a big natural area, lots of places to walk. We moved into a house that's much smaller and the house is not perfect, but it looks out on nature and I that's perfect. And the bedroom looks out on a little forested area and I sleep better than I've ever slept in my whole life. And that's perfect. Um,
So what is the
and
opportunity? What is the
what's the,
opportunity? What is it that you can experience when you are there that you wouldn't experience if you moved? It's
oh,
usually
probably.
things, yeah, it's usually things that all the things that you don't want about the community, write all of it down.
Uh-huh.
Because every single thing has an opportunity for you to become aware of that you would not become aware of, and that's why you want to move. You want to move so these things will stop in your life, but if they stop, you will miss the opportunity
Mhm.
of realizing an insight.
Yes.
So the exercise I would like for you to do
Mhm.
until next time is write down all the reasons why you want to move and what is the insight if you stay.
Okay. Sounds great.
I'm looking forward to the list.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
list. Yeah.
Thanks, Lou.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.